Hello guys, you are welcome back to Astro Digital Technologies YouTube channel. In today's session, I'm going to be teaching you how to create some dynamic Excel charts such as this chart using Microsoft Excel. My name is Ezekiah Omoyemi. Without further ado, let us start. Now, the first chart we are going to be looking at is called a pie chart. We are going to be looking at the pie chart. Ideal use case for pie chart is pie charts are best used for visualizing data when you need to do a part to O data analysis. You need only simple proportions and not specific percentages or values, and you have a small number of categories to compare, and your data adds up to a meaningful whole, right? Let's say your office is hosting a lunch party for all employees, and you need to know their food preference in terms of vegetarian and non-vegetarian. You've taken this sample. How do you visualize this using pie charts? So to visualize this, what you need to do is select the O chart, come to the Insert tab, and the Insert tab here in the chart group, there are various options there. This last one, which says pie, insert pie or donut chart. So you are going to, if it is pie chart, if it is donut chart, we have the 2D, we have the 3D, and we have the donut chart. And here you will see some other information that says use this chart type to show proportions of a whole. Like I said earlier, use it when numbers are equal to 100 and the chart contains only a few pie slice. For instance, your number must be close to 100. If I should sum this now, you will see that this to this range and press enter, you see that it is equal to what? It is equal to 100. So when your number is or what's it called? Your value is up to 100, you make use of pie chart. So you select this again. I'm coming to this place and select any option here. I will go for this option, right? So this is how you can use your pie chart, and you can give it a suitable title. For instance, let's name it employee food reference survey. Survey. So this is the title I'm giving to it. Then you have these are your words, are your legend. So you can come here and format. You can bold it. You can bold it. If you want to change the color, you use these words, the charts elements here. This is the chart elements, the chart style, and the words. We have something that looks like funnel. Then you have the format data series. Immediately you insert a chart, you will notice that a contextual tab has been added that says what chart design. You can change all the design types that you want here. You can see you have a whole lot to pick from, right? Depending on your words preference. So I'm using none of these. Then you can select data. Do you want to select data? You can see all of these here. You have it series one. We only have one series here, right? And these are the rows. So we're working with this in a short while. File explosion, you can see, you can play with all of this, but you don't need it here. So you move this one back to 0. You can adjust your words. All of this is called your words, your data label. You can increase it to whatever And then if you want to format again, you can click this and you say what? Format data series, format data labels. If you want to format data labels, if you want to show percentage, you remove it, right? But we want to show what? Percentage. So you click again, you right click and add data label. So if you want to format data labels, you have this. You want to show the percentage. This is the value. Show leader lines. Do you want to show leader lines? So there is no leader here. Do you want to show the legend key? So these are the legend key. We don't need to show the legend key, separator, all of this. Category name. Do you want to include the category name? So these are your preferences. We have the legend there. We don't need to include the category name. Series name. Do you have series name? It is saying these are the series names, series 1, series 2. You don't need to include all of those. Value from sales. Do you have any value from sales? You don't have any value from sales here. Right. So this is all about this. If you want to, even this color, we can change this, the pie. Make sure you just select one, come to this format painter here. You will see that vary colors by slice. The default color for this is blue. You can change it to whatever color you want to do. If you want it to make it no fill, you have it. Solid fill, you have it. Is it gradient fill that you want? So all these are the things you can play with, right? If you want to insert picture, you can come here and insert picture. Let's see if I can select online picture. You must make sure you are connected to the internet before you can use the online picture. Let me search for vegetables. Vegetables. And let's see what we have. Okay. You can pick any of these, insert. Can you see? This is now vegetable, right? So these are the things you can do with it. Then if you don't want this your data label to stay within the slice, any of the slicer, you can also, what you can do is come to this format chart, your data label option. You have this, do you want inside end, outside end, that is outside the pie chart. Best fit will stay inside. Data callout such as this, or you even have more option. So depending on your preference, right, you can play with it. Let me undo all of those. You can undo, and then I would like to show this one. Change the color to whatever. Let me say blue. Why? Both this one you can change this one to non-vegetarian. You can change it to pale yellow. So this is just, and if you want to make it visible, I want to make this one white. You can change the font color to be white, right? So these are the things you can do. So this is how to create a pie chart in Excel. You can even off the border. If you want to off the border, you will see format chart area here. You come to format chart area and you want in the border here, if you want no fee, you can see automatic, no law. You don't want any line. You can see we've removed the line from the border. So these are the things you can do with charts as regards your chart. So let us move to the next one. We are going to be looking at Doughnut Chart. So the Doughnut Chart is a variant of the pie charts. While the two charts are quite similar in the way they work, right, and function. The following functions of Doughnut chart sets it what apart. Number one, the donut chart has a cut out center. So the center of the donut chart can be used to render additional information like the total of all the data values as well as the data value of the slice being hovered upon. So a donut chart is best used for presenting parts of a whole. If you are to present parts of a whole, you use donut chart. All right, so let's see. Let me show you this here. In this donut chart here, you can see this donut chart, right? So it is showing the part of a whole. It must be 100 too, but it shows the part of a whole. Let's see how you can create this. Let me recreate this, right? So you select your data, and you come to insert. Just come here and you see the word. Sorry, let me undo that. Control Z. You select your data, your value, and you come to donut chart. Here you have the donut chart, right? So here, what you can do as well is you can format this this chart. If you want to increase, you can increase, you can reduce it. Donut explosion, you don't want donut explosion. Now, to change this, let's change this because this is the series, right? We are going to change this. To change this, just right click and say select data. Now, here in this pop-up box, you see this edit. We want to change this to to the category label. So you click on this and you list you list these ones, you press OK, right? And that's how we formatted that. We said OK. We can as well, all the formatting we did the other time, you can do it here as well. Then if you want to change the color, right, you can change the color. So let's bring in the data label. You can right click the image and add data label. So this is the data label. So anything you want to do as regards the data label, you can as well do that, right? If you want to change any of the slicer color, you can change by doing coming here, and then this other one, you can make it gray. You can make it gray a bit, right? So let's make this let's make it dark. All right. So now to bring this one here, we want to add the any of this visual here. So what we need to do is if you want to increase, you can increase as well, and you can move around, right? So let us bring a label here. To bring the label, come to insert, and in your shape, we use these text box. In this text box, what we simply want to do is we want to bring in a value here, and how do we bring the value? You come to your formula bar, said equals to, and you put this value and press enter, right? So you increase to make it bold. You can bold it, center, and increase this based on your preference. Based on your preference. So you might decide to show this as well, the remainder, right? So that is what I have done here. So this is showing you the what? The satisfied. The satisfied is what? 60%, right? And if you don't want to show the data label as well, you can delete that data label. So let's see how we can make it dynamic. Let's see if we can make this chart dynamic. Let me put border here, right? I'll make it bold, and I want to put data validation here. So all we need to do, goes to the values here, you come to data validation, that's come to data, and in the data validation here, it's going to be yeah, going to put lists. Okay, what I'm going to do basically here is this place. Let me get rid of this, right? So I said, instead of referencing this, it's going to be any value that we put here that we want to display. So if we put, for instance, 60, that is what we have here. So if we put 40, that is what is going to be displayed here. So this is how you can create a donut chart. So if you want to represent part of a whole, you can use this word, this label here. But if you are not doing that, the best you can do is to bring in your word, add your data label and do the proper formatting, right? So that is what you can do. If there is no need for you to represent part of a whole, you can do this push. Now, let us move now. The next one we are going to be creating is called the what? The gauge chart. Now, it looks like something like the speedometer in front of your car dashboard. So this is best used for customer satisfaction visualization. And if you see, this is taking point. If I change this one now to 78, it moves, right? 78. Can I see it is dynamic? It is moving from left to right. We have the good, we have the bad, the average, and the good. So let us see how we can recreate this. Now, we need to do something here. One thing you need to notice is that you need the bad, the average, and the good, like I said, and everything must amount to 100. In order to visualize this one, in order to add some value to create this gauge chart, we need this, right? And how do we create this? To create this, what we are doing here is that everything, all the values must amount to 100. And how do we do this now? Because it has to range, as you can see, the maximum here is 100, while the minimum here is what? It's 0. See, it will transverse from what? 0 to 100. So we need a pointer like we have it here, and we need our value, the exact value here. So to do this, we are going to say, okay, anything that comes here is a 200% minus any value that comes here minus any value here, right? We press enter. So our pointer is just the thickness of this gauge. So whatever we make it, let's say put this one, let's put 50 here, and we want to make it, let's say 2. That is the thickness of our pointer. So how do we create this exact pie chart that you are seeing here? To do this, let's go back, highlight your values here, come to insert tab. Here you will see the pie chart. I don't need the chart title, I don't need this. Now it is not looking like it, right? I know. You select this place and come here, you say what? Format data series, angle of first slicer. We are changing this one to be 270 for that we can rotate, right? It is taking a shape. Let us make this one a little bit thick, and here select this. I'm going to hide this particular slicer, come towards format series here, format painter, and then we are saying what? No value. Then another thing we want to do is we want to hide the words no border. Don't want we are saying no borderline, right? We don't want borderline. So let us change this to red, to red color, which is our bad. This is going to be our good, and this is going to be our average, right? It is now looking like what we have here. Now, so what do we do now? We are not yet done, as you can see. So we need to add another what's it called here. So we come back, you right click, and you will say words. We want to change the series. We are changing the series. So you will say words, change chart type. We are not changing the chart type. We are selecting the words, the data series. We are selecting the data series. So we say what series are we adding? It's going to be this point, and the series value will be this range, and press OK. Right? Now we are bringing in the second word, the second chart. So we are going to change this one from Doughnut Chart to a pie chart. To do that, right click this, and you will see change word series type. So when you have this series type, we are changing this one from Doughnut to a word, to a pie chart, and you press what? You press OK, and you press what? OK. Now I know it has overshadowed our Doughnut chart. So how do we format it? What we need to do here is to right click this, and here we are saying no fill, and this blue as well, we are saying no fill. Then we now have, then let's say for the border too, we don't want for them, we don't want no borderline. We don't want borderline as well. So this now, we are going to rotate this one to angle of first slicer again. We say 270, 270, Okay, I think it's okay the way it is. 270, right? We are bringing it up. So for this as well, we don't want a borderline. We come here and say no borderline. We are having no borderline. So these are thickness. We change it to what? To color. You can give it any color that you prefer. Now we now have, it is now looking at like it, isn't it? Right? Like something we have here. So how do we put this value here? To put this value, all we need to do here is, let's go back. You say what? Data label. Insert our data label, right? But now it is showing 2. That's not, because that's the value of our pointer. So this, to get rid of this, we say equals to the value here. Then you come to your formula bar, you said equals to what? To the pointer here, right? And you press enter. So that's how you have it. It's in 50. So if we change this one to, like, say 20, for instance, as you can see, it is moving. We can say 40, right? We can even make it more dynamic. Let's put a value here. We say, because now this will be, let's bring this one back to 0, right? So when I say this, we delete this one, we say equals to any value that we put here. That's what we wanted. So if you put any value, like say 50, it should be 50, it should be 55. No, it is not properly formatted. Let me clean the format there, and I will put, let me merge and center. Let me put borderline. So here we get set equals to anything that goes here, and we put percentage, right? So if we put 50 here, you can see it goes. So if we put 55, we are okay, right? So that is how you create your gauge charts in Excel. So the next one creating now is called the area charts. So this area charts is it is used mostly. The area chart is good for showing deep visualization. So the next one we are going to be looking at is the area chart. And we said an area chart is a visual representation of data that uses what? Line and field areas to convey information, particularly effective in showcasing data trends and variation over a specified period or across different categories. And these area charts, it combines a line chart and a bar chart to show changes in quantities over time, with the area below the line shaded in different colors, as you can see. So how can we recreate this? Remember, you need to revisit the data analysis manual guide that was given to you at the beginning of this course. We have explained all the chart type in that manual. So how do we recreate this? Let's go back to this place where I have where's the area chart here? Oh, where's okay, I have the area chart here. Now, looking at this area chart, this is a sales trend, revenue by product, revenue by region. It is revenue by what? By region. We have different regions here. As you can see, we have the north, the east, and the western region across years. Now, look at the revenue. It ranges from what? 2021 to 2024. So how do we visualize this using the area chart? To do this, all you need to do is select all the columns. You select all the words, all the columns, and you go to Insert tab. You select all the columns, go to Insert tab here. Where do we have the area chart? You come to More Column Charts, right? You have this place, and you select the third chart here, which is the area chart. I would like to use this one, and then you press what? You press OK, right? So you press OK. So this is the area chart, and this is showing you what? The revenue trend. Like we did the other time, you can format all of these. Are just basic formatting that you can do. So what else can we do here? Let me change the fill color. So I will come to fill. Then we come to what? The fill here, right? So you can choose the colors that you prefer here based on your preference. And then this one, right? You choose the next color, and then this one as well. What color are you picking for this? Now you can see the words, the color variation, and as well you can delete the grid line, highlight it and press delete. This is the word. This is the legend, and your title, you can give it the suitable title. So this is how you can create your area charts in Excel. Now, the next chart we are going to be creating now is called the variance chart. So the variance chart is best used when you are comparing, let's say, two values. For instance, here we have the budget and actual. We have the budget and actual. So the best use case is to use a variance chart. It's a graphical representation of data that displays the words. It displays the difference between actual or forecasted or planned values over time. So it is used to analyze and visualize variation in data such as sales, production, or revenue compared to expected or targeted target values. Here, in this is a budget of a fictitious company, right? These are the items. We have the breakdown, the wages, the marketing, new hires, office supplies, and utility. These are the categories. And look at the budget. This is their budget, and this is what they actually would spend. So we want to see how we can replicate this particular chart here. Where is the chart? Okay, I don't have it there. Let me go back. So let's see how we can replicate, well, visualize this, what's it called, budget versus actual expenses. So what we need to do is to select the O chart, come to Insert tab, and we are going to use the words, the column chart, right? We are using this chart here. Now, we have the two categories, right? So how do we format this? What we need to do now is to select this orange, select the orange, right click, and select the orange and come to the fill here, and we say what? We are changing the words. We go to format data series. We are coming to this format data series and change it to what? To secondary axis. Now we've changed it to secondary axis. So you can see it is now what? Over the chart are now overlapping. So the actual, you can see from here, the actual amount is going to be on the budget, right? So what we need to do here, let's change the color. Select the actual here, come to this place and change the color. We are making it red. Let us make it red. And for the blue color, okay, another thing we need to do is select these words, the gap here, this same actual, and we come to the gap width, and we want to increase it to, like, say 400%. So to make it what? We've reduced the gap width. Now let's click on this blue chart here, which is our budget, and let's change the color to, let's say, something like this, or yeah, okay, I think this is good, right? So we are changing, and let us increase the width, the gap width for that. For our budget, we can say something like 150, right? To make it more bigger, to expand. Now, here we have the next thing we need to do here is to change the axis. If you see one of these axes here, this is 400 and this is what? 4,500. So let us change this and come to this place. We change it to the maximum should be 4,000, right? So that will make it equal. And we can now delete what? One of these. We can get rid of one of these, and then make it, we want to make it, it is 4,000. This for that's 40,000, delete one. Okay, so and let's change. We want to have the grid line here. Remove the grid line. You can see the chart. So this is how you can visualize. You can create a variance chart. So you can always pause this video if I am too fast. And you can see from the wages here that the wages, actually the budget, they are within. You can see what they spend, the actual is still within the budget. Where they exceeded the budget is this utility. You can see they budgeted $3,073, and they spent almost $4,000. And so that is how you can see that it exceed the actual what they've budgeted. So this is how you can create a variance chart in Excel. So the next chart we are going to be looking at is called the waterfall chart. Now, it's called the waterfall chart. So this waterfall chart, what is it and how can we create a waterfall chart? It is also known as a what? A waterfall graph or a flying height chart. So it's a visual representation of how an initial value, and you look at the values here, the initial value is 320. Initial value is affected by a series of positive or negative values. It is best used to show how a starting value is incrementally increased or decreased by a series of additions or a subtraction, right? So how you can see in 2022, the employee count here is 320. They started with 320. So along the line, they add 120 hires, and the layoff is they have 24 people who are laid off, and those who exited the company is about what? Is 12. You can see this negative value. They are represented by what? These red bars here. And they had a total, at the close of 2023, they had a total of 400 employees. So this is what this table is just saying. Let's see how we can recreate this particular chart here, right? So to create this chart, now, to create this chart, what we will do is we will select our data words, all our data values here, all, right? Then we come to insert tab. Then here, where do we have it? We have it here, right? We have the waterfall chart here, right? So this is the waterfall chart. Now, as you looking at it, it is not falling because you can see the 2024, the 2023 total here rising, right? So to do this, we are going to remove I don't need the title. I don't need the title. And what I'm going to do here is the decrease here, we will change it to what? Change the color to red. Yeah, that's the decrease. Yeah, right. So the next thing we are going to do here is to right click this one and set as what? As total for it to drop. So it will now drop. As you can see, we have dropped it because that's the total at the close of 2023. So let's see how we can format that here. We can change this here to what? The color, give it whatever color that pleases you. And this one too, you can change the color to let's say blue, or depending on your preferential color, right? So let's get rid of this. The grid lines, I want to get rid of this grid line. You click on them and you press delete. The values, if you want to format, you can format whatever you want to do here. If you want to change the type, you see this change type here. Whatever you want to use, there are templates here that you can make use, right? So it is based on your preference. So none. I will use what I have created, right? I'm deleting this. So this is how you can create a waterfall chart. And another interesting chart we are going to be creating now is called the Gantt chart. It's called the Gantt chart. Now, what is it and how do we create a Gantt chart? And lest I forget, when you are creating a waterfall chart, it is commonly used in project management to track progress and costs, sales and marketing to analyze customer acquisition and revenue, healthcare to track patient outcomes and treatment effectiveness. So that is how where you use the waterfall chart, right? So going back to our Gantt chart, how can we create this beautiful chart? How can we create this beautiful what? This beautiful chart. The Gantt chart is a type of bar chart that illustrates a project schedule, showing we can see here, we have various tasks. These are the various tasks that we have, and it has dependencies and what and timelines. So, right, projects are always having timeline. So it's a visual representation of the project progress. So it shows how the project is progressing and helps to plan and organize tasks, set deadlines and milestones, identify dependency and critical parts of activities, and it track progress and status and manage resources and allocation tasks. So a Gantt chart typically consists of horizontal axis representing the time. You can see these are the horizontal axes here. It is representing the time. So we have the start date and the end date, and then the duration. So the duration is just the difference, the subtraction of your start date and the end date. That is what will give you your duration. And we have the vertical axis that represent the tasks or activities. Look at it here. This is the vertical axis. And then we now have the bars or the rectangles representing the task, with the length of the bar indicating the duration of the task. All right, so these are the things we have. So let's see how we can recreate this. Now, to recreate this, to create our Gantt chart, all you need to select is to select the start date, come to insert tab, and here you will use the words. We are taking this chart here, which is the column chart. Now, it is not looking like what we have the other time, right? So the next thing we are going to do here is to right-click our charts and say words, select data. What are we selecting? We are selecting data, and we are going to add words, data. In this legend entry series here, we are going to add data. And what are we adding? We want to bring in this duration, right? So we say add data. The series name is going to be the duration, while the series values ranges from this to this page, and bring that in. To press OK. Now, here in the horizontal category axis label, instead of having this 1, 2, 3, we are going to replace it by this category. The categories we have here, which is the task, right? So all you need to do is to just press edit, and the range is going to be from here to here and press OK. Now here we go. You press OK. Now it is taking shape, right? But if you notice here, it is in the reverse order. What we're supposed to have is the client onboarding. And to do this, all you need to do here is to right click this place and come to these words, axis options. And the axis option, you see categories in reverse order. Click this place, then you have it what in the reverse order. It is now looking like it. The next thing we are going to do is to get rid of this. And to get rid of this, you click and come to this field here. You say no words, no field. So we've just gotten rid of that. Now, if you look at it, it is taking shape. All we need to do now is, this is just telling us the different words, tasks that we have. You can see client onboarding, and it looks so far. Look at this, let me remove the chart title. I don't need it. Oh, sugar, Control Z, right? For the date now, it is looking too long. So to format this date, all we need to do here is to say, okay, we say equals to, we pick our start date, and then here to, we will say equals to what? Equals to our end date here. Press enter. So let's go back to this place here and format axis. Here, let's change this to this value, which is our minimum value is 45322, and while our maximum value is 45415. I press OK. Here we go. Now it is now words. You can see the bars are now closer to the words, to the categories. So these are our words, our start dates and our end dates. Let's see if you can spread it out very well. Okay, it's making sense, right? So the next thing we can do here is, as usual, you can come here, do your formatting, whatever format you want to do. You can do all of those here. Let's get rid, we need to get rid of the grid lines. You can, these grid lines here, you can get rid of them, highlight them and delete. We can increase the bar, which is this now. No. Right, to 2%. You can just brace. All right, you can bring your data label, add data label to see these are the duration of each of these given task. And you can come here, format each of these by here, right? But you can just select just what, make sure you select the bar and format, give it different color as it pleases you, right? You can give you different color, just this normal formatting. You can play with what, with all of this here. So this is how you can create a Gantt chart to track as for project tracker, right? So the next one we are going to be looking at is the football field chart. And this is useful to summarize a range of values commonly used in finance when what valuating a company to show what the share price is going to be in the what in the future. So you are giving it a what? You are giving it a range. Normally, right? If I should get rid of this, let me get rid of this. Now, when I'm getting rid of this, okay, let me Control Z back and copy this one. Let's see what happened here. Control C, and let me get a new sheet here, and let me paste here, right? The range, Control C, Control V. Now, this as it is, I can get rid of this. Now, the difference, the range we are looking at here is going to be the difference between the maximum value and the minimum value. And this is more or less like saying this is the current and the future what? Future forecasted price. Then we need to get the difference between the two in order to make our football chart. So we name this one difference. We name it difference, right? And it will be equals to this minus this, and we press enter, right? So this is how you can what? This is how we get the difference, right? So let me get rid of this. Let's see how we can reproduce this chart here. Let's see how we can reproduce this chart here, right? To reproduce this chart, all you need to do is to select all your values, right? You select all of these, you come to the Insert tab, and we are going to make use of the recommended chart. We are going to use this word stacked bar chart, right? So this is what we are going to use. So a stacked bar chart is used to compare parts of a whole across what categories. Use it to show how segments of a whole change over time. So that is the use case. You press OK. Now we have this, right? It is not looking like what we have here. Let me get rid of this. It is not looking like what we have here. So in a few moments, you see how we are going to work around it. So what we are going to do is to make sure that this green, which is our minimum, and this our maximum, we are going to hide them. To do that, right click this, come to fill and say no fill, right? Then the same thing, we are doing the same thing here, isn't it? Yes, we are going to do the same thing here. Right click here, come to no fill, right? So having done this, let us format this. It's not properly formatted, as you can see. So we are going to use, the minimum is going to be around 20, and our maximum is going to be around 40 or so, right? So to do this, come to this axis option, and the minimum, change it to like say 10, and where our maximum is going to be around 40, and press enter. Okay. It is making sense, right? Another thing is if you want to change the color, you can change the color here to anything that pleases you. If you want to make it red, you can change it. If you want to make it green, purple, whatever color that pleases you, you can do that right away. And another thing we can do is to increase this one to around, let's say 10. Oh, that's too thick. Let's say 2. Then 150. Right on. I think that would be much. Yeah. Let's make it 100. I think 100 should be better. So now it is taking shape. If you look at it, let's see. Yes, it's making sense, right? Um, Now, what do we do here? Let me increase this a little bit. Come to format, or you to bring the pen, you could right click and format data series. 175. Okay, so the next thing we can do is to bring in the data labels, right? The values. And to do this, right click this and I say add label. But looking at it, it is far apart to the category label. So what you will do here is to come to this words format option is a the format option, and you say this place and inside end, you are making it inside end. Now this brings it closer. I think this is too far. Let's reformat this one. Our minimum should be 20. Should be 20. Okay, this brings it more closer. Then okay. So another thing, let us bring for the maximum value, add data label. We see it is far, right? All you need to do is format data label series, and here we say what inside base. So that is how we can bring it in, right? So what else do we need to do here? Okay, to bring in this line, we can come here, come to shape, and bring in this line, right? So just put it so just like the way you have the central, they have a feed in normal football. Increase the thickness. You want to increase the thickness. Do you want it as dashed line? You want it as dashed line. You want to make it visible. The color, you can give it whatever color. But let's change this one to blue then. The difference, that will be format data series in the paints here. Let's make it that same blue, right? So I think it makes sense like this. So that's how you can create a what a football field chart. Does it not look like a football field? Yes, it looks like a football field. We can even get rid of this. So this is how you have it. Here we go, making sense. And we have this like this, right? So this is how you can create a football field. So the next chart we are going to be creating now is it's going to be clustered column chart. We are going to be creating a cluster column chart. So when do you use this cluster column chart? The cluster column chart is a type of chart that displays data using columns that are grouped into categories, allowing for comparison between the categories and within each category. So it is best used to compare data across different categories. For categorical data, you can use your clustered column charts to show relationship between two categories. Like in this case, you are going to be showing relationship between two categories, and then highlight patterns and trends within each category. And a cluster column chart typically consists of a horizontal axis, which is a category. We have the vertical axis that represent the data value, and we also have the columns representing the data. So how can we create this cluster column chart? How do we do this? Okay, in order to replicate what we have here, select your data type, right? Come to the search button, and here we are choosing the more column, and we have the area chart here, and press OK, right? So we want to replace this value here. How do you replace this value here? Right click and select data. You will select this place, this, and press OK. Good, we are good to go, right? So the next thing we are doing now is to bring in our words, our diversity chart. So we say what? Blue, and we come to this place. We are making it what? Our secondary axis. Why making it secondary axis? We say what? 100 as our gap width. Then these two, this other one, we will make it what? Our acquisition, we make it 5 or 50. Let's see, right? Let's make it 5 or 15 or 50. Let's make it 50. 45 will be okay. All right. So now it is making sense, right? We can go ahead and delete this, and let's delete this as well. What we need to do now is this other secondary axis, we need to make it what? To correlate with this other vertical axis here. So what we need to do is right click, format series, and the maximum will be 70, right? And we are good to go. The next thing we will do here is, let's see what we have here, right? Let us delete one of these, and delete this. We no longer need it. And this now, we can change this to, let's say, red. Red. Yes, I'll give it a color. And then this fill, and we are giving it this, any of this color here, right? Can I see that it is making sense, isn't it? Compare with what we have here. So let's see how we can make it further. Let us go and add these elements here. And right, deleting this. Let's bring our what's it called now? Let me bring back our data, our legend. We are bringing back the legend. We are bringing it here, and we can expand. That's the legend, right? So how do we bring in this? Let me off this borderline. Let's come here, this, and we say what format area, and we don't need a borderline. So we don't want a borderline. So we've just removed the borderline. So let me go and bring this shape. We come to insert here, and we are bringing in this shape. Which of these shape are we bringing in? Let's see the shape we can use here. We have a shape. Let's see what we have here. All right. Okay. We say, okay, it's not this. Okay, we bring in this. We bring in this. And it might look somehow. You can always rotate. Yes. You rotate this, then you can move it. What I want, is that not what we have? Okay, so a quarter we can extend. Then let us duplicate. Control C, Control V, and we have for 2022, Control C, Control V, and we have for 2023, right? And still the same thing, Control V, but this time around, I'm reducing this for 2024. This will be for 2024, right? So it is making sense. Let's go and bring in the year. We use our insert text box, and we say, okay, here, right? We format it out, shape outline, no outline, shape fill, no fill. I will say equals to what? Equals to 2021, and come to this place, bring it into the middle, reduce, and here we go. we have this now, right? Control C, Control V, and you can just change this one to D8 now, D8 for 2022, and Control C, Control V, and here we go. This one will be for D12 for 2013, 2023, Control C, Control V, and while we have this for 2024, this one is where we D16, right? Voila. And this is how you can make a cluster column chart, right? So if this video is too fast, if I'm too fast, you can always pause and take it at your pace. All right, the next chart I'm going to be creating now is this beautiful chart here. It is called the stack bar chart. It is more or less like that of the clustered column chart. It is more like that the clustered column chart. So what this does basically, the stack bar chart is that it gives you, let's say, a depth. It's giving you the depth of your words, of your data. So it's a type of bar chart that displays the contribution of different categories to a total value, right? Where each category is represented by a separate bar segment. And the bars, as you can see here, are stacked on top of each other, showing the what? The cumulative total. Let's see how you can create this stack bar chart. To do this, all you need to do is to select all your data and come to Insert tab, and can we get the stack column charts? Can pick this. You can pick this, right? You can pick this. All you need to do is to start formatting them, right? Get rid of the grid line. Get rid of the grid line. Another thing we need to do here is let us check the cumulative. Then it will be sum this and press enter, and right, this is the cumulative. So we can, let's see how it's, we can add it to it and insert. Yeah, you can see the most performing, right? So we won't add this to it. Let us edit this. This is the cumulative frequency, and all you can do here is you can increase the bar. Right click and you can yeah, no, you don't need all of this. You come to size, the size and the height. and you expand properties, the size, the width. Increase the width. It's getting farther, and all you need to do is to start what? Editing. Editing this, right click, fill, give it whatever color. I'm giving it the color. Next one, fill, pick the next color there. Yeah, pick your next color, pick your next color, this as well. So you can just play with the format, what's it called that you have here, and fill color, have this right, and let's bring in our data label. Uh, let's bring in our data label. Our data label, our data label to it, our data label, and our data label. All right. Then the one that looks darker, come here and put them right, and all of this. Let's get rid of this, and you can see the performance of all of these words, of these categories: detergent, conditioner, shampoo, dishwash, liquid soap, and bar soap. So this is giving you the word. It's more or less like density, the depth of your words, of your visual, right? So this is how you use your words. You create your stacked bar chart. So the last but not the least chart that we are going to be creating now is what I call this heat map. Wow, we are going to be creating heat map. How do we create this heat map? Basically, heat map is is a is a kind of chart that you create using the conditional formatting. So a heat map is a visual representation of data where values are displayed as what? As colored. As you can see here, we have no values. The values are hidden. If I highlight this, you can see the value here, right? If I highlight any of these points, you can see the value, but they are hidden. So a heat map is a visual representation of data where values are displayed as colors, with high values represented by what? By warmer color, such as red, orange. As you can see from here, we have three different colors here. So it is used to show relationship between data points, identify patterns and trends, highlight areas of high or low activity, and visualize complex data in a simple and intuitive way. And these heat map are commonly used in financial analysis such as stock prices, trading volumes. In marketing, if you want to monitor website traffic, customer behavior. In sports analytics, player performance, team strategy, what have you. And in healthcare, we use it to monitor. You will not during COVID-19 when there is a pandemic or any kind of health outbreak there, we use what? This heat map, right? Disease incidence, treatment outcomes, and geographical information system, such as our population density, climate, patterns. So these types of heat maps, we use the 2D heat maps, which is just simple and two-dimensional representation. And interactive heat maps allows users to explore data in real time. In real time. So how do we create this heat map, right? So look, I'm going to be replicating what we have here. How do we do this? Now, let us come to this chart here, and we add one, and I will name this one heat map, right? We need what? Trends. We need trends. We have categories, right? We have categories. So first of all, I'm going to create this category. Let's name this one cap, any products, laptop cover. You can call this one bicycle, you call it mug, and you call it sleeve, right? Now, this is our product category. And we have what? Regions. Let's say we want to look at this product performance across region. Or, yes, depending. We can even have it in this way. Let's say we have the region. We want to study, we have the southern region, we have the northern region, we have the eastern region, we have the western region, we have the southeast region, and we have the northwest region, right? These are our regions. Then we want to study the market value, right? Across, we say, this is going to be our month now. We say, we can say January, February, March, April, May, and June, right? For instance, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to generate random values, right, to represent our sales figure. I will use the round between function. The bottom, which is going to be the least, let's say 500, and the highest, we say 2,500. We say 25,000. We press enter. Highlight this whole place, Control R and Control D just to flash fill, Control C, Alt H, VV to convert it to a value. Now, having done this, let me format this axis. I'll say what? Black, and as well, this is going to be the same thing. Now, so how do we do this? To do this, highlight the old data points. Then you come to the conditional formatting using our colors case. So apply a color gradient to a range of cells. The color indicates where each cell value falls within that range. But if I'm to use this now, you will notice that it is not well representing what we want to do. So I'm going to use my own custom column. And to do this, I'm going to override, I will say what? New rules. I will use my own custom column here, where the lowest values. I want to use 3D, right? 3 color scale. Then I'm saying my what? My lowest value should be red. My average value should be somewhere around this place, and while my highest value should be green. Should be green. I will press OK. Can you see that it has changed, right? This value has changed. Now, how do we go back? I like this place. I will say Control-1. And then I'm using the what? The custom number formatting here. And I'm overriding this. I will use 3 semicolon. I'll press OK. So as you can see, I've gotten rid of those what? Those number. So this is how you can create a what? A heat map in Excel, right? So let's see the second one. Get rid of the number. To get rid of is sales across states using heat maps, right? To do this, I'm going to copy this data here, Control C, and let's go back. Let me paste it somewhere under this place and Control V, right? And what I'm doing here is go back, select our data, come to Insert, and we use what? Map, field map. So it is seen it as a what? As a geographical data. And you can see automatically we have the map of Nigeria. I don't need this. So this map is generated by Google Map using Bing, right? And you can see the highest value here and the lowest value. So you can customize this. You can customize this, right click and say what? Add data label, right? So this data label, let's check more data label option. Do you want to have the category name, which is the state, the series name? It says we don't need the series name, right? Do we need the value to? But yeah, the number, how do we format the number? Is in 0. We don't want decimal. Format code. All these are okay. Okay, all these are okay, right? You can always increase your map. If you want to see it far better, you can always increase your map. And what other formatting can we do here? What other formatting can we do? I think, okay, our series color. Are we using diverging color? So we are using diverging color. The lowest color will be red. And the middle color could be orange. And the highest can be green. Yeah. So, all right. You can see Anambra Anambra has the highest. No, is it Jos? Okay, Jos has the highest seas. Where's Jos? Let's see. Why is it not picking Jos? What's happening? All right. I know. What else can we do here? Let's see. Format chart. Map projection. Can play with all of these. Actually, I've not used all of these before. I think I'll use automatic. Only regions with data. Okay, if you want to choose only regions with data, I can choose that. Only regions with data, Control Z, and right click, add format series, countries and region. So this is country and region. Country and region. If you are doing multiple countries and region, this will show the Nigerian map on African within in the African map, right? I think that's what that will do for you. If you want to show the entire world, it will give you the entire world. But I think I will use automatic. We will do automatic. So depending on what you are displaying, right, you can always play with all of this. Best fit only. Best fit only. Kaduna, Kano, show all of these, none. So you can play with words with all of this. So this is how you create words. It's map in Microsoft Excel. Let me, yes, and reduce, and here we go. So this is how we can create a heat map in Excel. So I hope you enjoy this maps creating dynamic chart series in Excel, right? Thank you.